Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps, issue number 32. So, kind of like The Flash and Justice League before it, this issue doesn't follow immediately after issue 31. Instead, this is actually Bats Out of Hell Part 3. Yeah, let's kind of jump into it. Oh, by the way, the artist, or at least one of the artists, is Ethan Van Sciver, which I thought was kind of cool. I like Ethan Van Sciver. His works are pretty awesome. I would say he's actually one of my favorite artists at the moment. So yeah, this issue takes place immediately after the Bats Out of Hell Part 2, where if you guys haven't read that one, you guys can go watch my video on that. But basically, the Justice League are all caught in separate versions of the Batcave that are designed to overwhelm each individual member. But anyways, we get a fight between Green Lantern, Hal Jordan, and Dawnbreaker. Basically, they're fighting in the dark. And Hal Jordan kind of finds this a little bit amusing because he's kind of like, you think this is supposed to be scary? Like, you show me Coast City being attacked, you play some spooky voices, and you think that this is going to scare me? Like, you got to do worse than that. Yeah, Dawnbreaker basically starts taunting him. And Hal Jordan realizes that Dawnbreaker can absorb light. So what he does instead is he tells his ring to activate like a strobe effect so that the light comes out very briefly. So it's too fast for Dawnbreaker to absorb. And this way, Hal can get like glimpses of where Dawnbreaker is so they can actually fight somewhat evenly. And I kind of like the way that they do the panels, where one panel will be just black with dialogue, and the next panel would be like an action scene. And then black, action scene, black, action scene, black, action scene, black, action scene. And I'm like, okay, that's kind of cool because it's supposed to be like, the strobe effect. I thought that was a really good way of doing it. And Hal creates basically his special from Injustice 2. Was it Injustice 2 or was it Injustice 1? I think it was Injustice 2, right? Where he creates like the giant mech that he rides in. I think that was Injustice 2. But one of the Injustice that's his finisher, which I thought was actually kind of cool finisher. But yeah, so he creates like this mech made of his light construct, and he uses it to beat up Dawnbreaker. And he's basically like saying, this is for all the Green Lanterns that you killed in your universe. And here's the one thing I thought was kind of weird. Okay, so Hal informs Dawnbreaker that the ring wasn't given to him, that the ring that Hal currently wears, it was forged from his own willpower. And for anyone who hasn't been reading Hal Jordan, the Green Lantern Corps, basically Hal Jordan created his own ring out of his willpower, his own willpower. Like he forged his own. He materialized a ring just made of pure willpower, and he forged it himself. And then he actually took the ring to I don't know, I forgot the name of the planet, but Sinestro's planet, where he detonated. Like he detonated that along with himself to destroy a planet, which I thought was kind of cool. And then he went into the afterlife, came back, and then he mentions that he rescued gods, which was the last arc where he rescued Orion and Highfather from these giant like nth metal golems. Which I thought, okay, that's kind of cool. That's unlike The Flash, how Jordan actually references previous story arcs. So now I kind of get somewhat of an idea where this is supposed to take place. Because that's the one thing about Dark Knight's Metal. I have no idea where it's supposed to take place in terms of continuity. Because I just finished reading the new Flash issue, and it brings no mention whatsoever of Dark Knight's Metal, and it has no setup for Dark Knight's Metal. At least here in Hal Jordan's, he references, like, this takes place during the Dark Knight's Metal, because we have Dark Knight's Metal enemies that he's battling. But at least he's referencing, like, previous story arcs and previous things that have just happened to him. So I kind of get an idea of things. Okay, so I kind of know all those things that I've read in Hal Jordan Green Lantern Corps took place, and they already happened. Which is more than I can say for The Flash, where it's basically I can pretty much ignore everything that happened in The Flash, and because it has no bearings whatsoever on the on current Flash in terms of Dark Knight's Metal. Am I making sense, or am I just rambling? So yeah, Dawnbreaker revives a bunch of classic Hal Jordan enemies And then Hal Jordan is like, who's first? Like, who's he going to beat up first? And then we cut to Metropolis, where we just see like this devastation. We see Metropolis just completely destroyed. Washington, D.C. is destroyed. Central City is destroyed. Amnesty Bay is underwater. Then we see Detroit's destroyed. Though to be honest, the Detroit that we see in this panel pretty much looks exactly like Detroit now. So not much has changed. Was that a terrible joke? I'm sorry. I'm sorry for anyone who's from Detroit. But yeah, Detroit's pretty bad. Detroit's in need of some help. I feel kind of sorry for Detroit. Detroit and Chicago. We cut to Challenger's Mountain, where we see Don Breaker carrying Hal Jordan, or he's dragging an unconscious Hal Jordan. And he basically says, I told you how, the dark always wins, but don't worry, you won't be alone. And we see the rest of the Dark Knights, and they're carrying the rest of the Justice League because they've been beaten up. And then the Batman Who Laughs basically says that the one thing he loves about this version of the Justice League is that they are too arrogant, and their arrogance are going to be their downfall. And we see him and Murder Machine, and they are still messing around with Cyborg, and pretty much saying that once they extract the element X from Cyborg, the entire multiverse will be theirs to destroy, and that's how the issue ends. I liked it. I like this mini series so far. Like I said, the only thing I really don't like is just the fact that I don't like that it takes other series' place. If that makes any sense. Like, this didn't need to be Hal Jordan, the Green Lantern Corps number 32. We didn't need a Justice League number 32. We didn't need it to be Flash number 32 or 33 or whatever it was. Like, this could be its own mini series. It could just be, Bats Out of Hell, Dark Knight's Metal tie-in. It doesn't need to be like a numbered issue, because it has nothing to do whatsoever with the previous, with the previous series. But other than that, that's like my only one nitpick, and it's a very small one. But other than that, the series has been really good so far. Like I said, I like pretty much everything from Dark Knight's Metal, except for Merciless. Merciless was pretty terrible. Though the character himself was actually a lot better in Dark Knight, in Bat Out of Hell number 2. So it's not the character himself that I hate. I didn't like that issue. I thought the whole origin story and stuff like that was really weak. But yeah, Hal Jordan Green Lantern Corps issue number 32. If you guys are not interested in Dark Knight's Metal and you're just collecting Hal Jordan Green Lantern Corps, you can easily skip this issue and you won't miss the beat. And luckily for you guys and for me, because I actually enjoyed the heck out of Hal Jordan Green Lantern Corps, the next arc will begin in issue number 33. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you guys all next time. Later.